I don't remember seeing the pilot.
You don't remember seeing the pilot?
I know what the pilot is.
Right.
But I don't know where I was and when I saw it. I don't.
But you got to remember, like, the first time you watched an episode of Smallville, that you were the lead in it and thought you had you had thoughts about it.
I just don't remember when or where I was. But I do remember when Clark pulls off in the pilot, when he pulls off the door to the truck and he says, my name's Clark Kent, you're in Smallville. I remember doing that scene and being like, oh, this is awesome. Like this is like James Bond, Indiana Jones. It's like there was just so much about that moment, I just remember when we were doing it. I remember it being cool. Yeah,
you were so young.
So
like
young.
I mean, you didn't have time to go home and study lines.
No.
Now that's got to be terrifying, sort of, for someone like me who always studied lines and did plays and had to really learn the stuff so I could be free on set. But you just didn't have the time. You're in every scene every day. You had to go home and sleep.
But that was my job. My job was to be there all the time, every day. As you know, with Clark and Lex, like, Clark doesn't have a lot of lines. And a lot of times in television shows, the leads don't, because the story needs to be, they're in the middle of the story. So everybody else talks to them. That's a lot of the times what happens in television shows. So like, you and I would be in scenes and I'd be like, man, this guy, you got a ton of lines. Like, it's you. And then
right.
Clark would be like, what do you mean? But my job was to be there all the time, in a sense. And I always, for 10 years of my life, it was whatever it takes to be there. That's just was my focus.
Did you ever have breaking points where you're like, I can't freaking do this. I'm so tired. They've got to give me a day off. Did you ever have moments where you're driving to work and you're just like, I got to pull over. I'm so tired.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you, that was most days. Like, it was.
Most days. Because we drove ourselves to work.
Yeah.
Until the cast got together and said, Tom has to have a driver. He's going to die.
Yeah.
He's going to die. He's your lead role. He's our lead guy. So many times you were driving to work and you had to pull over.
I got pulled over once.
By a cop.
I was going to work. I was just in a constant, like, irritated mood all the time. And I remember one day I was driving to work, it was like season 3. And it was like, I'm sure some of you listening or watching this, a car is slowed in front of you. You want to just not slow down. You hit the horn, the car clears, and you realize, like, someone just got in an accident. There's a cop already there. And the cop just turned to me and was like, turn out. Like, so I pulled over and the guy was like, what are you honking for? And in Vancouver, honking your horn,
Canadians don't honk their horns.
Honk. So
they're Canadians. They're lovely.
And I'm not a big honker, but it was just that moment. I was like, honk. Oh. And he's, what are you honking for? I'm like, he made me sit there for a minute to almost teach me, like, calm down, slow down, never give me a ticket. But maybe I needed to hear that right there. You know, like, just chill out a little bit, dude.
But you were absolutely, you'd say, at least once or twice a week on the way to work or on the way home, you're just like, I'm out of my mind tired.
Yeah. Constantly. Like,
would you fall asleep easy? Did you ever need any pills to go to sleep?
Never pills.
Never
fall asleep
a beer?
Easy. What I did is I would normally nap for 15 minutes at lunch. Like, I would, like, during lunch, I would get my lunch, eat it while I was walking, get to my trailer, lay down, 15 minutes later, get up. And the second part of my day was always more productive, I felt.
Right.
Just from a nap.
Harry Truman used to nap. He said just in a boxer shorts, pair of boxers and a t-shirt, and take a little 30-minute power nap. And it used to make his day. That's what he did.
I still love naps.